most wigs you can tell it's a wig, so let's be real on that front. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about some natural hairstyles or trends that we need to leave in 2023. So I observed a lot of things during 2023, and some of these trends have been going on for a while, not just in 2023 but prior, but I think we need to leave it in 2023 so that we can achieve new hair goals in 2024, have healthier hair, volume, take care of our hair overall versus keeping up with these trends. And sometimes I just don't like it. It may just be perfectly okay, but I personally think we should leave it in 2023. So if you want to know what I think they are, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. So let us get into it. Here are some trends or styles that I think we should definitely leave in 2023. The first style are tight braids. I have seen tight braids for years. It is time we leave that behind. We already know the damages. Maybe back in the day you could have excuses, people didn't know, but now we know. There is absolutely no reason why we should be seeing tight styles. Styles so tight, it looks like scalp is being braided. Your thoughts are being braided. Those tight box braids are not worth it. Those tight cornrows are also not worth it. And moving forward, take care of it. I know sometimes if you don't do the style super tight, they don't last as long. But would you rather lose your hair? Yeah, the style doesn't last as long, but your follicles last even longer. If you make it really tight, you're gonna get time, but when you take your hair out, your hair follicles will come out too. So don't make it too tight. And if a style is becoming too much pressure like this, the only way, you have to find different and other more hair preserving methods to utilize rather than going for these super tight styles. There's no style that is worth it being so tight. And some people, they have headaches. It takes them like a week to get a good night's sleep, some even longer because it's so tight. It's not worth it. We all know people who talk about how their edges are gone, their hair is thinning out because of these super tight braids. Let's leave them in 2023. The second trend we need to leave in 2023 are crispy fried hair. And what I mean by that is that you know when you see it, that hair is so thick and has been fried by heat, flat ironed like 10 times. When I see those videos of people just doing passes on their hair, it is way too much for me. I'm like, wow, how are they not seeing this is bad? If you're gonna use heat on your hair, do it moderately. Like even if it's not the straightest hair, it's fine. I got my silk press and she did one pass with the flat iron, but then she also did a curl at the end. So technically you can see two passes. That was also after blow drying the hair. It wasn't the straightest because she didn't use super hot temperature, which is okay because then I didn't have to smell like hair burning. I really think last time the lady used a lot more heat because I could literally smell. I was kind of scared, but then I wasn't used to it because I don't flat iron my hair a lot. Even if your hair doesn't come the straightest, at least I am guaranteed that when I wash my hair, it's gonna go back into its natural state. It's gonna still be healthy. It's still going to be thick, rather than having bone straight hair that is so thin and crispy. It has no body, it has no movement because it's so stiff. And then when you wash your hair to go back into its natural state, the hair is really thin. Roots that are thick, and then the ends are very stringy. We need to leave that in 2023. We have heat protectants now. We have more knowledge about using heat properly and using heat moderately. So going forward, we should leave these thin, crisp, fried hair in 2023. And let's move on towards healthier in 2024 and beyond. The third one is a personal preference, which are these extravagant baby hairs. We need to leave them. I mean, baby hair on fleek became a thing back when I think I was in high school. And they got just bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, I know baby hair and lean baby hairs has always been a thing in the Black community, but I think it really got spotlight in the mid 2010s, and then it just took over. And it is time to let it go, especially the extravagant one, to the point where people are taking their edges, not even edges at this point. It's more like, they're not baby hairs. They're like teenage hairs, adult hairs. You're taking them, they're flat ironing them, and then laying them. If you need to do all that, maybe you should skip on laying the baby hairs. I personally don't lay any baby hairs. You can see right now, not a single hair laid, and I like it that way. I'm not gonna force my hair to do that, even ruining it, because people who use heat on it almost every single day to lay their baby hairs. That's an exhausting amount of heat for your edges. This is not baby hair. Again, personal preference, with the tip of like the fact that you could actually damage your hair, your edges, and even get burns on your scalp if you continue to do it again at a really high heat. I would just like us to put away this excessive baby hair laying in 2023 and let them rest in peace as we move on towards a better 2024. Let it be realistic. The baby hairs, a little goes a long way. Less is definitely more when it comes to baby hairs. Less is definitely more. The next thing we need to leave in 2024 are very lazy buns. Now we have lazy buns, and you know, those are you just throw on when you're leaving the house because you have nothing styled or you don't have time to style your hair. It's okay. When I'm talking about the buns and the ponytails, I'm talking about those that have been up for days and you just don't seem to be able to get around it and do anything. That's very bad. It's not good for you to have your hair tied up in a bun for days at a time. It can cause hair damage. So let's move away from it. I mean, once in a while, everybody does it. I personally don't really do it a lot, unless it's like in a protective style already. But even then, I try not to keep it in a bun or ponytail for too long. It is important that you let it down, let your hair relax, let it be in a way that it can grow and thrive. But rather when you put it up and then it has all that heat, at least for me, I can't take it but for so long. So it's really important that you ask yourself, what can your hair take, what can it not take, and be good with that. It's not hard to explore and do research on other styles that are easy to do for the days that you don't feel like sitting there and styling your entire head of hair. And it'll be more worth it to put in that work versus leaving it into a lazy bun that will cause hair damage. So let's leave the very, very lazy hair buns in 2023 and move towards healthier, more proactive hairstyles in 2024. Speaking of which, the next one is everyday puffs. And this is especially for the girls with the afros that are not yet falling. It's really hard to find styles to do when you are unable to just leave it and go, but then also do a lot of styles. I'm personally not very well skilled in doing a lot of hairstyles like cornrowing, braiding. I do some twists, I do some plaits, but honestly, my skill level is not up to par. But even then, doing puffs should not be an everyday thing, because just like buns and the ponytails, you are keeping your hair in a vulnerable stage where it can break and it can become weak and not thrive the way it should if you're putting it in puff every single time. And I did this in my second year, which was probably one of my worst years for length retention. My second year growing my hair, I saw that in the third year when I barely ever did puffs, my hair thrived. It thrived in the third, fourth, and fifth year versus that time. So it's really important that when you have hairstyles that you're doing, they're balanced, but puffs, braids, and ponytails are not everyday style, especially those slick back ponytails, because some people do it and then leave it up for literally like a week or two. That's very damaging. So let's not do those and keep them around for longer than we should. And if you do happen to do it, be sure to take it down when you come home and relax. Sometimes I just come home and I just let my hair out. I barely ever put my hair up when I'm home. I feel like it should be free and it should relax rather than being constrained. But moving on to the seventh thing are wash and goes. Wash and goes and I do not have a good history. I've already shared how I tried it twice, didn't work out. Wasn't trying to really force it. But there's some people who do wash and goes every single week and it's their go-to style. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with it for the most part. But I think that leaving your hair out all the time makes it susceptible to damage if you are in that range of like trying to grow your hair and you're unable to, and you're a person who does weekly wash and goes. You may want to cut it down to see how you can benefit from more protective styling. Now, while there are some people who can grow their hair by doing weekly wash and goes, good for them. That's not everybody who can leave their hair out and not be touching it all the time, because I know I would definitely do it. I will always be touching my hair and the ends. When I'm nervous or bored, I'll just be like doing this, and that's not good for the ends of my hair especially. So making sure that you are having that balance between protective hairstyles and enjoying your hair. But if you are the type of person who's able to grow your hair in wash and goes, definitely continue to do so. But if you can't, explore other protective styles. The 8th thing I want us to leave in 2023 is really the wigification of natural hair. And while I don't want to dictate what somebody can and can't do with their natural hair, I want to see people enjoy it more, but then also stay away from wigs that take away your edges. And I have seen a lot more of this in this current times, because when wigs became super popular, especially in the natural hair community, you can see now the result after months and years of people consistently wearing lace front wigs, sew-ins. Some are doing crocheting, which I don't think crocheting is really bad. I think crocheting is pretty decent compared to the other ones. And also some people do tape-ins in their natural hair. I hope natural hair is more showcased in the year 2024. I really love to see a lot of Black girls who have taken pride in growing their hair, and I like to see it. You know, I don't want to just see it for 1 month out of the year. Let's see it more. And it's not to say that I'm trying to tell people what to do, but also let your hair relax, and for it to feel loved and appreciated, I think is a very beautiful thing to do. But also just stay away from the wigs that take off your edges. And I do see those videos that's like lace wear, you can't even see the lace. And I would say I've seen wigs get better and better over time, and I'm so curious as to how people do it. And so you see it, you're like, oh my god, is that hair? And then they're like, no, it's a wig. And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know. Thanks for telling me. And I like to see that. I think that most wigs you can tell it's a wig, so let's be real on that front. But just be careful with it so that the glue is not taking off your edges, or you're having leave outs where you're gonna have to consistently straighten out anyway. I don't think it's worth it. So let's leave the edge snatching wigs in 2023 and to more hair thriving in 2024. The next thing I want us to leave in 2023 are super heavy braids. It's always beautiful to see what people can do, the creativity that comes with different hairstyles, appreciating work that goes into it. But for the everyday hairstyle, I really don't find the super heavy big braids to be healthy on your scalp, because imagine pulling up all that weight. It's not fun. And you may be used to it now, but it can cause some damage on your hair and put some strain on it as well. So let's leave the super heavy braids in 2023 and move on towards more sustainable, scalp healthy hairstyles, including making sure that it's not too heavy for you. Now, there's some people who can take different levels of heaviness, and that's where I want to be careful when I get my box braids in the future, because I don't want them to be super heavy. Already, sometimes I feel like my hair is heavy in a way. I don't know if you feel it too. Naturally, you're able to take more. However, if you especially have light and thin hair, don't be doing super heavy hairstyles on your head, because that's counterproductive to trying to increase your volume if that's your goal, and certainly to grow in healthy hair. And the last but absolutely the least thing we need to leave in 2023 is this idea that every hairstyle is a protective hairstyle. When I heard that tape-ins were considered protective hairstyles by some stylists, I was totally lost. Because what exactly is it protected, or how is it protecting? We need to get away from this delusional bandwagon that every style is protective, and instead find the styles that are actually protective. But also realize that a style may be protective for somebody, but it may not be for you. Your hair might deserve a different level of attention or a different hairstyle. For me, mini braids and mini twists work good for me. Cornrows, it depends. Sometimes when people braid it too tight or moderately tight, it doesn't feel good for me, just because I'm not used to that tightness on my scalp. It doesn't feel protective to me. Instead, it just feels very uncomfortable. And we have to get to a point where we're listening to our hair. We are listening to what's best for our hair, and not just what people say on the internet and what seems to just be a one-size-fits-all. Because there's no such thing as one-size-fits-all. And so let's explore, let's do research, let's listen to our hair, let's look at our experiences and make those decisions. And hopefully we'll be able to leave everything I listed in 2023. If I could just have one, let me see. I would definitely take away the tight hairstyles. Like, seeing those pictures, they just look super painful, and I would not wish that on anybody. So let's leave all of these, but especially the tight hairstyles in 2023. So with that, I'm bringing this video to an end. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and ring the notification bell so you will not miss any time I post a video. Leave in the comment section what hair trends should we leave in 2023. Thank you so much, and I will be reading all of your comments and do my best to respond to them as well. See you in the next one. Bye.